taken a third US Open title.
She's won another major title, Hania Hammamy.
Nour Sherbini has won a 7th World Championship title.
They have consistently, for the past 4 years, raised the level of the women's game.
Good shot. When I won the World Championship, I never thought I'm gonna win 7, and I never thought Nicol's record's gonna be broken anytime. I thought what she did was something unbelievable, and no one were gonna reach this.
For our 8th world title.
You have to have players like her come through, and she said she wants to match up and win the record.
It's now become to Nour pressure that it's her duty to pass this record.
Sherbini does it. She takes the first platinum event of the 2023-2024
It's definitely a long journey to become a world number one. I've always thought that I want to be a world number one faster than the rate I'm going with.
And they moved the game to a different level. Now, never see a woman game goes for more than an hour and 1.5 hours.
I don't think I will ever stop playing this game until I win this title, because it means everything. It's the most important one. I don't think I've ever been emotional like this before. I never imagined I can be like that. Usually I show very little emotion, but this means so much, so much.
For my part, Sherbini is and has played the best squash that has ever been seen in the history of the game.
To talk about Nour Sherbini first and foremost, Nour Sherbini is in a league of her own so far.
She was World Junior Champion aged 13 and the youngest ever World Champion aged 20. She's racked up an impressive 7 World Championship titles and is out to match the record of Nicol David, who has 8.
Hello, I'm Nour Sherbini. I'm 27 years old. I'm ranked number 2 in the world, and I'm 7 times world champion.
Sherbini has made history, first Egyptian lady ever to win the British Open.
She's become a 3 times Tournament of Champions winner here.
The best player in the world, she's the new world number 1.
Great performance all week from the Warrior Princess.
That is unbelievable. It's unbelievable from Nouran Sherbini.
She has become the youngest ever world champion, only 20 years of age.
Nouran Sherbini has won a 7th World Championship title. That was an outrageous performance by the greatest female player that's ever taken to the stage.
Okay, so Alexandria Sporting Club is one of the oldest clubs in Egypt. So it was, since the British were here, it was a Gezira club in Cairo and Alexandria Sporting Club in Alexandria. So it had a lot of players. I think we take good care of champions here. We give them the respect they want, especially when they're starting to play the tour. And they are comfortable staying here. We have a good team spirit, and this is, I think, is a good environment to work. Yeah.
When she won the championship, every year we change it. Every year we change it. You see her fingers, huh? 7, huh? I think the outside one it's 6. I think, huh? You see it last year.
We never think about we have to reach Nicol record. We never thought about this. Nicol is a legend. Something will never happen again. But we don't know. Suddenly you found us that we have 7 titles of world champion, and every people start to talk. You have to get a Nicol record. It's now became to Nour pressure that it's her duty to pass this record. Come on, it's not our policy to make this, to look for Nicol or to look for the record and to just play. But the situation like this, 7, you have one more step to be like Nicol. Okay, even if I get the 8, no, you have one more step to be more than Nicol. Something put in her head.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the work Nour's been doing, both with yourself, with other players and a fitness coach, and what that looks like going into, obviously, Paris and just a few great things?
Yeah, honestly, I thought we had enough time to have a nice preparation period for Nour and to focus on the mistakes she had last season, because last season she ended up the season with the Guna and the World Open. She wasn't playing good. She was mentally drained in a Guna. She was so we had many things to fix. But unfortunately, she just came back from Austria. She had a knee injection because her knee was hurting her again, and she was late going there. She had to do it earlier, so we didn't have quite enough time to like be on court with her a lot. But Nour is a smart player, so as you've seen today, like she can be playing normal games, and I'm pointing out the errors she's doing and stuff like this, and she's trying to fix it while playing games. Conditional games and stuff like this. This is how she evolved now to be more smart, more tactical than I have to stay with hours on court like other players. So I hope it's gonna be a good start for the season, and I hope that the character issue is more furious starting the season, and she's aiming back to get back the world #1.
I have a cartilage problem, so this is my main problem now. Well, it's been 4 years trying to manage it, but until now, yeah, it's going well. Some days are bad and some days are okay. So yeah, just trying, just going through it day by day and see every day how I'm feeling.
Nour all the time, all the past time, it was the youngest, and she was trying to get something, and now she's trying to defend something, which is a new point, a new challenge for her, and now she became the oldest one in the tour, and not the youngest as before. All this come in her mind, and Gohar and Hania, very good player and very strong player, very fast player.
I think we could be going for a world record in this match, duration-wise.
I'm here for it. All the ones, and 71 minutes played so far. You just know what's coming.
Oh! It's an absolute rip again! And she's made the error. Goodness me, Gohar gets the win over Hania Hammamy, and there is the outward emotion of an unbelievably feisty and furious affair.
Playing Nouran Gohar is it's tough mentally for me.
Playing against Nouran Gohar makes me feel like I'm on a battlefield. We're both quite an aggressive players and very tough on court and very physical.
She's under pressure.
Oh, that's beautifully played.
Oh, she's done it! She's only ripped out a trickle boast. Very, very clever shot selection there from Hammamy.
Playing Hania is always physical.
Stuff on the body and stuff in the mind.
Because you know that she's gonna pick up more balls than anyone else, so you know you're up for a battle and a long match.
Oh,
she ripped it! She's ripped it!
Oh my goodness!
That is an extraordinary get. And that one. Oh, she's lost her footing!
Oh my goodness.
6-11, 12-10, 11-9.
What a match!
14-12.
What a match!
Gohar and I are taking the matches to another level with our physicality. Considering the duration of all matches we played this season, you know.
Check this out. Oh my goodness me. 131 minutes, 43 minutes for the fifth game. All the way to a tie break, and it's Gohar that takes her second CIB PSA World Tour Finals championship. Winning it in 2021. She's now won it in 2023.
On the other hand, Sherbini is pushing both of us, Gohar and I, to just like improve our game, improve our shots, improve our squash.
We have been world number 1 and 2 throughout the past 4 or 5 years. So it's obviously one of the toughest matches I can play on the squash tour.
Even if you're playing well, even if you got your tactics right, you'll still find a way to win. And that's also challenging because you can be as fit as like a beast and you can still have like weaknesses.
And they moved the game to a different level. Now never see a woman game goes for more than an hour and 1.5 hours, and we never see this physical game, and never see the long rallies like this and all this stuff. And this really new challenge for Nour. Now we're training with the boys only to be like to be in this level of the game. And Nour, as you see, Nour is in this level. She has to work very hard, not physically. She has to use her mind more than physical, because if we go this way, we have no chance. The Gohar and Hania, something.
He's a bit scared.
Yeah. What's this big camera?
He's shy as well. His name is Kokon. He's 4 years old.
Oh.
And we eat in the same plate, sleep in the same room. But not everyone would like to have him eat with him in the same plate, but for me it's fine. Okay, cookie.
So, it was my idea to collect all Nour's trophy, especially this one. These all the world champions, and this from President 3 times he got it, the golden medal from Public Egyptian, and this it was the first one when she was 13 years old, the youngest one in India, and this is the second one in the Qatar.
I was 6 years old when I started playing squash, and I started playing and practicing so straight away. So I didn't have the chance or to try another sport, but I think I was good. So and started to improve quickly. So it was just squash.
Actually, and first time Nour, when she won the national tournament here in Egypt, it was 8 years and a half. From this moment, I start to believe in Nour, because before I didn't give her more attention. So from this moment, I start to look to Nour, so I have to help her more because she's coming.
Yeah, it was mainly my parents' guidance or my coaches. So it's not me that I decide anything, but it's signs. So when you see the signs, it's going to the track or something like this. So you keep going and you just give it a try, and I think it worked. Yeah.
So from this time, I start to manage all my life to her career.
I never thought I was going to win or play the World Juniors Championship when I was 13.
I said, no, we are going to see India. We're not going to play. You just go and see the older player, how they manage in this big tournament. And Nour say, okay, let's do it. And I have plan here. We'll go to watch this in India and watch this in India and watch this in India. And start Nour make me a big surprise. She won match after match after match. So I found her in the final. Before the final, she was sitting in my leg like this, like a baby, in the final. I say, okay, go play. And she played and wins the world champion. It was a record for her. It's something for me very, very special in this moment. Nobody thought that he is going to be world champion in this age. Every day it was a new sign from Nour. It's giving push, Nour, hey, when you stop, you make me dream more and more and more. And now it starts. If you win the juniors, so you can win the senior too. So Nour every time give us the belief that she's going to be something. And this one very special. Nour the only one has a model from the world champion, from the world champion. This was the first world champion in Malaysia.
10-8 championship ball.
So a slight pause before the drama continues. And Nour El Sherbini now has 2 championship balls.
Thank you.
Well, the Egyptian contingent is going to erupt if Nour El Sherbini can convert this. Well, she's done it first time of asking. Nour El Sherbini, she is the NASA PSA Women's World Champion.
11-3, 11-5,
What a way to finish it, no nerves there. She has become the youngest ever world champion, only 20 years of age. Incredible stuff. Braces her dad.
Until last moment and last point, nobody believes that Nour was going to win this point. Once she won, I don't know what happened. I jumped about half meter or something. Yeah, it's very special for me. Very, very special.
Hello, I'm Nicol David, 8-time world champion, and I spent 9.5 years at world number 1 from 2006 to 2015.
Is that backcourt burst? Is this the end? It is, and that's game, set and match to the 21-year-old Nicol David from Malaysia. There it is, and what a wonderful drop shot to finish this match. Nicol David is the world champion.
So, Nicol David wins her second World Open and extends her unbeaten run yet further.
For the drop. Could that be a stroke? It is. The referees have given the stroke.
So, a superb victory and a 4th world title for Nicol David.
Nicol David onto the volley, and that error crowns Nicol David as world champion. It really was magnificent.
And there she's got it! Unbelievable comeback from that.
Every credit to Nicol.
I remember hearing Nour's win in the World Juniors when she was 13 years old, and when she won that, I was like, wow, you know, that's amazing. And we were like, whoa, this girl got a lot of potential, and she could move well, she could hit the ball really well. So you just go, wow, this talent will go very far. So I was very impressed watching her for the first time, and I knew for a fact she would be something in the future to watch out for. It's amazing to see what she's come about to get to where she is right now with 7 world titles, and she's just phenomenal.
Sherbini has retained her World Championship title.
Well, she's to the tin. Nouran Sherbini's done it. She's won the biggest prize in squash. She is now a 3-time world champion. Only 23 years of age, 3 world championships to her name. She is going to be undoubtedly one of the greats in squash. Unbelievable.
She does, she goes for it off the serve. She just won the World Championships.
3 games to 1.
The Warrior Princess. She's been out due to injury
11-5, 11-6.
for the whole of the early part of the 2019 season. Oh, she's done it. Sherbini's done it. She's won her 5th at the grand old age of 25 here in Chicago. Oh, she's done it. Nouran Sherbini's done it. She's done it. She's come out of nowhere with months off the tour, with continual injury issues. And she's rocked up once again to take her 6th World Championship title here in Cairo. Sherbini's won her 7th. Nouran Sherbini has won her 7th World Championship title here in Chicago. And she's done it in a ridiculous manner. The best player in the world. She's the new world.
You have to have players like her come through, and that's what she said. She wants to match up and win, beat the record, and you know, the records are there to aim to go somewhere. For me, it was, you know, Susan Devoy's reign of #1, and also, you know, whatever I could get to the World Championship titles. But for her to achieve what she's achieved, I think she just has to just keep going for it.
So we've looked back at Sherbini's history in the game, but when would you say that Egyptian squash started to develop from a women's perspective in the modern era?
I think you have to take it all the way back to a lady, may her soul rest in peace, called Samiha Abul Magd, and she was a board member of the federation for many years.
I remember when I was growing up, you know, I have a very vivid memory of watching, of my parents telling me, come sit down, there's a squash match, 2 girls are playing. They were Salma Shabana and Mahazin, which wasn't, you know, very common to have women's squash aired on TV. But it was happening, and at the time you have to realize that the TV only had 3 channels. It wasn't like, you know, 150 channels and you're going through them all. No, it was just 3 channels, and one of those channels was airing probably the national tournament, and Salma and Maha were playing the final of that tournament.
Later on, a young kid called Abdul Awi. At that time, she's the legend of Egyptian squash female. She makes you believe there's someone could make it as a professional. She's the first one to reach the top 10 in the history of Egyptian squash. She reached the top 4, and she also reached the final of the world champ, inspiring someone like Raneem, later on Sherbini, later on Gohar and Hania.
Dr. Samiha is the one who made women be like men in squash sport in Egypt. She really fought for us. She really had so much battles with the federation and the government, so it makes women the same level as men.
There is no doubt that where I ended up being as a squash player would not have happened without her impact on women's squash in Egypt.
And then came the one that I always admired the most, which is Ranim. She was the first ever Egyptian female athlete to reach the world #1 in any sport, which was one heck of an achievement, to be honest. And to have the belief to do it is not easy. And who did she take it off of from? Nicol David, the greatest of all time, at least so far.
Whenever someone jokes about me making a comeback, I say there is no way I'm playing a 90-minute match. No way, because it feels like this is the norm these days. It's crazy, and it's not like it's a 90-minute, you know, slow intensity, slow pace, no action kind of match, boring. It's intense. It's an intense 90-minute match usually. I'm honestly glad I'm not I'm not a part of it, but.
Back to the top 3 now. I just needed to clear those things out of the way. It's incredible. I look at the likes of Djokovic and Nadal and Federer, and the fact that they've done it for the past 4 years already, only the 3 of them capturing the biggest titles of the tour is something that is exceptional. I don't think people really, I know they've earned the name of the big 3, but still people don't really realize how hard it is. Because people only think that it's hard when they're playing against each other. Believe me, every single match, every single point takes a lot of energy and a lot of stamina out of you. The fact that they've barely ever lost to anyone outside of those 3, and that they keep on this consistency is something that I can only admire.
I think if you take all the 3 girls together, combining all their best attributes, you create an amazing squash player with all the great aspects they all carry.
The thing that I like is that they have really different style and type of game.
Really is a great crop of girls that really are hungry to be #1 and hungry to win that world title.
If you catch Sherbini on a day where she's Sherbiniing, no one, whether it's Gohar or Hammamy, in my opinion, can compete with her. Like, her best, I do believe, is better than anyone.
That's got to be the drop shot of the year at least, let alone the season.
With Sherbini, it's funny because like she'll be at this position and you're like, oh my God, what's she gonna do? Like, is she gonna boast? Is she gonna drive? Is she gonna cross? Is she gonna drop? Like, you're like on edge the whole time. You're like, I have no idea like what's gonna happen.
Like, you're so scared of her shot game. When you see her on the volley, you're like, oh, she's gonna drop, and then bam, it goes back to the back of the court, and you're like, shit. And then you have to run for the ball.
She's got a way of just anticipating the game so well. At the same time, she's ruthless. I believe when Nouran Sherbini has it in her mind to just finish it fast, it will be very fast. and it's not easy on the receiving end.
You go on court, you don't know what to expect, you don't know where the ball will go, you don't know how to compete. She honestly can make a high top player feel that they can't even play the sport.
How would you describe playing Nouran Gohar?
I would say intense. She's been on top for 2 years, I think, and yeah, it's always very tough playing against her, especially with the power and with the intensity and with her personality as well. As I said, it's nothing personal, it's just she just wants to win and doesn't think about anything else.
That is her game, just pure strength, power, but accuracy. I think when you're on there with her, the accuracy and the just barrage of pace and everything is so hard to deal with, and you never get a chance to kind of stop and figure out what's going on. She has refined the game that she has, and she has made it world #1 level.
Oh, that is monstrous from the Terminator, ripping that one.
That is a ripper. I'd have that for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Oh my word, sorry.
Well, I was just about to say the length of Gohar completely dissipated, but she doesn't even need it.
2-4.
Definitely, Hania's efficiency of movement, I think, is the main thing that makes her the player she is.
I mean, like, definitely her athleticism is unbelievable. Like, sometimes I'm like, fuck, like, I have to win the rally like 5 times before I have to win a rally. And I see her get balls and I'm like, like, I'm not even remotely close to getting those balls.
She completely backs herself to beat anyone, and rightfully so as well, because she can and she does.
When you're on court with them, like, you have to bring your A game. Otherwise, they are going to walk all over you.
Welcome to the Paris Squash Open 2023. This is a brand new event here in the capital of France. It's the perfect start to the 2023-24 season.
Top seeds starting their campaign today. First up, we've got #1 seed, world #1, Nouran Gohar, 25 years old. She's held that top spot for a long time now, since back in April of last year. She has been unbelievably consistent. She's only lost to 2 players in the last 2 years. Her 2 big rivals, Hania Hammamy and Nour Sherbini. Yeah, we pretty much always know tactically what we're going to get from Nouran Gohar. She keeps the strategies quite simple. Execution is what it's all about. Pretty relentless pace with which she hits the ball. Yeah, doesn't make it.
11-3, match to Gohar, 3 games to love.
Gohar
11-3,
through pretty comfortably.
Now into match 3. But yes, all eyes on Nour Sherbini. Lost that world #1 spot to Nouran Gohar.
Well, we never quite know what we're going to get from Sherbini, which is a ridiculous thing to say considering the consistency in her results. But she's capable of winning matches when she's not at her best level.
Looking for a first major title here in France, Nour Sherbini. Lovely power there from Nour Sherbini. Oh, Nour Sherbini taking a 9th win, 9-0 in the head-to-heads with Salma Hani. She really does have her number. Setting her stall out nicely there, Sherbini. It's on the hunt to get that world #1 spot back.
A great start from the top 2 women here in Paris. Next up is Hania Hammamy, who has a very tough round 3 opponent in the form of Sabrina Sobey.
Welcome back, viewers, to the last round of 16 match in the ladies here at the Paris Squash 2023. We've got Sabrina Sobey playing Hania Hammamy. So easy to forget, only 22 years of age, already been #3 in the top 3 for well over a year now, and makes up what is known as the big 3, Sherbini, Gohar and Hammamy.
Tough draws in this event for Hania Hammamy.
Oh, inch perfect, Joey. Inch perfect over the tin. We've seen that shot being used. Whole boast in the back.
Oh, she got it! That's a brilliant shot for the Roadrunner. She's shouted out, come on! She's up for this one, that's for sure. Hammamy here is really at sea at the moment.
Oh, Joey's enjoyed that one. She was off down the Champs-Elysees. And now 7. That was our cheers.
Hammamy, and at the moment, her back is against the wall. Well, there's the screen that we were talking about. It could easily shake the Eiffel Tower. She's absolutely thundered that in. 2 match balls saved now by Hammamy. Could be an opportunity. Oh my word. What a scalping once again for Sherbini, this time here in Paris. The second time in her career she's taken out one of the best players in the world. Hania Hammamy has exited the arena. Sherbini is on cloud 9 here in Paris.
A shocking exit from the Paris Open in the third round for Hania Hammamy. Her loss now opens up the draw and could well lead to a Nour Sherbini versus Nouran Gohar final here in the opening platinum event of the season.
Paris Squash Open 2023 women's final for this platinum event. The world #1 and #1 seed Nouran Gohar taking on Nour Sherbini, the current world champion and #2 seed, both from Egypt.
Paris Squash 2023 women's final match.
And we're off. The battle for world #1 begins. Seconds.
Oh, fantastic stuff. And again, into the nick, nonchalantly.
Gohar is renowned for being a great starter, and she's down at 6-1. Well, Gohar is starting to make a move now, Laura. 7 points in a row. She's done it. Look at that. She's absolutely screamed her head off there. Completely taxied Nour Sherbini. Yeah, I mean, the world #1 status is a huge factor in it, because the way Gohar celebrated the World Tour finals when she was able to take that spot back from Sherbini. Sherbini now. She now arrives in this women's final here in Paris.
I think it was a good test for me for a first tournament of the season, big one as well, and I'm a very, very slow starter.
Starting to get a bit of a rally here now. And as I say that, look at that shot! Where did that come from? Oh, that was a bit special. Boy, you can hear the French general there encouraging his charge, because she is getting very close to taking this title. 9-4 in the 4th game.
Really happy with how I was playing, because I was very surprised with my performance, with my movement, with everything.
Championship ball.
Gives her 5 championship balls to take back the world #1 status from Nouran Gohar.
Nouran and I, the last season, we've been battling a lot, so definitely to be playing in the first platinum event, in the first final, and it shows why we are 1 and 2 in the ranking. So yeah, I thought, you know, just go for it.
Sherbini does it. She takes the first platinum event of the 2023-24 season here in Paris.
11-8.
And she becomes world #1 next week, taking it away from Nouran Gohar. What a start to the season. 59 minutes. Overcoming Gohar in 4 games, 3 games to 1 to take this title. No, just coming into this, you said about, you know, you feeling edgy. We were feeling a little bit nervous. I mean, you've won, you know, so many titles. You've had so much experience from such a young age. Why were you feeling nervy for this final?
Well, to be honest, I didn't have the best preparation before this tournament, or it's the first tournament of the season, and I always start slow, and I didn't expect to be playing like this week, so I was a bit surprised of my performance and how I was moving, how I am thinking on court, and yeah, I didn't think I would be winning this tournament. Of course, I hoped I come every tournament I want to win, but sometimes deep down you know how you're feeling and know what you're doing. So yeah, I'm really grateful that it ended like this.
Yeah, another fantastic performance against Nouran. Hania's obviously this year, she's perhaps, you know, by her lofty standards, she's struggled to sort of stay with you two. I'd be expecting, and as I'm sure you would be, that there'll be a response from her coming in the next sort of 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I think it's not only about the three of us. It's very challenging now, and I don't think like Hania's it's far away or something. She still give us all a very tough match, and still the number 3 on the world, and I'm sure she will back herself and come back stronger. And as you see, Nouran is how she's playing and how tough the matches are. So I think we still have Amanda, Nour. I've been playing a very tough matches from the first round. So it's a lot, many players to think of than the three of us. So I think it's very challenging season, and it's a very busy schedule as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of changes.
Big news from Hania El Hammamy's camp is that she will now be working with former world champion Laura Massaro.
Clinical stuff from Massaro. That actually books her the #1 spot in the world. Very accurate stuff from Massaro.
British Open Women's Champion, Laura Massaro.
I mean, I lost in Paris and I immediately contacted Laura and we immediately started talking, and we chatted every few days. She was making sure I'm in a better mental state, because obviously after Paris I was very disappointed, I was very down, I was very flat. So I felt that I need her guidance in how I could like be stable on court emotionally, and how to approach certain matches that I feel like I'm struggling with, you know. For me, to be able to perform my best, I need to have a little bit of fire in me and hunger. And Laura has been working a lot with me on this part, where I still have the fire in me and the hunger in me, but at the same time, I'm calmer in a way and more relaxed, if I have to say. So yeah, we've been trying to find the combination, and it's a bonus for me to be having her on board with me while she played against Sherbini and Gohar for sure. These are my 2 rivals, so it's definitely a bonus to hear her thoughts about it, to hear her tactics against them. And she never really gives me her tactics that she used to use on court with them. She always analyzes my game, and she sees how I can take this and add some stuff from her game if I can.
I was commentating at the Paris event at the start of the season, and I'd actually watched Hania play her first couple of matches on SQUASHTV, because I actually only arrived for the quarter, semis and final of Paris. And yeah, I remember watching. I don't get a chance to watch all of the squash anymore because of being a mum and being quite busy at home, but whenever I can, I like to watch, particularly the women's. And I'd noticed that she'd struggled her way through the first round and thought that a couple of things looked a little bit different in her game. And I got a text from Hania saying, could we get a coffee and could we have a chat, which we arranged. And yeah, we had a really good chat. It was the first time really I'd ever really spoken to her really in any sort of depth. Very simply, to start off, it was just an education for her about arousal level and trying to find her best arousal, her peak arousal, which is a very simple psychological thing that was very important for her, because everybody knows how feisty and fiery she is. She's always going to bring that to the table. She has to find a way to be able to control it, and that's not as easy as it sounds. Even now, when she understands it, there's going to be times where she gets herself so fired up she boils over, and there's going to be times where she's too relaxed. She'd never really thought about that mental side. That took me so many years as a player, and that's part of what I can bring to the table. Like, at the end of the day, I've been through the processes from where she is now at 23 to where I ended my career at 34. And that's where, I guess, where she keeps saying, you know, you've been there, you've done it. I'm lucky enough to still have played the majority of the players that she's still playing and know how it feels to be on court with them. Until you've been on court with them, you don't actually quite understand the severity that comes from Gohar and Sherbini, particularly like in the severity that's so different. The severity of swings and ball control and everything is, the severity level is so high and in polar opposite directions. So it's tough, it's really tough. Firstly, there's an understanding and an education around what's happening, and I think that Hania and I have had a lot of discussions around looking at things in a little bit more depth, whereas she will just see a little bit more of the bigger picture. I'm a bit more about the details. That's the way that I coach. I'm a very detailed coach, but I think we're at a really good spot where I've been able to highlight some of those minor details and actually allow her to start to understand what they're doing to her and how they're doing it and why they're doing it. And then that's the first step to change is firstly like understanding, really. You can't change anything without understanding what's going on first.
I think on a separate entity, it sends a message to Nour Sherbini, it sends a message to Nouran Gohar, because Laura's played them in major finals, she's beaten them. For Hania to go, she's mine, she's in my corner now. You know, it's somebody else that knows all about these two players and knows all about their weaknesses, and to double up like that is powerful, and that's for sure going to be intimidating for those other two. I think it's perfect that she's female, it's perfect that she's an ex-world #1 world champion, and it's perfect that she's beaten them both.
Next time on The Big Three. Squash has made it to the Olympic stage after the sport was accepted for inclusion in the 2028 edition of the Games in Los Angeles.
I was just proud to be representing the sport that I love the most, and I think it deserves more than any other sport to be part of the Olympics. Obviously, I'm biased when I say that, but that's how I see it. And to be a successful attempt as well was something else. So just being part of it was something, and having it finally getting into the Olympics was a big thing for me, and an achievement that I will always be proud of.